Alright, so can you believe it? We have more world boss videos. Yes, it was a bit of an older one, right? I think I recorded this like good 3 or 4 weeks ago. I just never got around to making this video, yeah. But today I'm gonna talk about another unit that I found. I don't know, it's probably someone has already discovered it, right? I'm not gonna say that I'm like the first one who did it, but I have been looking for better units for world boss and I found this, the wind NINETAIL fox. Now the fire NINETAIL fox sort of plays into it as well. If you use both of them, it's gonna give you the best results, right? But mostly I wanna address the wind NINETAIL fox for this one, right? So the rest of the team quite similar, right, to the one that I've previously recorded, right? The thing to note for this though is she is only useful if you use something like a Sigmarus as your main damage unit, right? The reason for this is if you use Perna as your main damage unit, so let's say if Perna was in your main team and you were either cycling it with a cooldown reducer or just cycling Perna manually, right? You do not need the Wind Fox, and in fact, not only do you not need it, but she actually just does not provide anything at all, and you were better to replace it with a better unit, right? She only works if you're using a damage dealer like Sigmarus that first of all needs a consistent strip, and second of all it needs debuffs to be applied, right? And the reason why the fire and wind NINETAIL fox duo is so good is they give you the perfect setup for damage without using any skills. So I'm not gonna go into the monster box, but I'll explain what they do. So for the fire one, if she does not land a critical hit, she will apply critical resistance down, and since the boss gradually gets critical resistance up buffs, right, she will be able to counter it. Now what the Wind Fox does is, in her passive she actually has a pretty high chance to remove immunity with every single attack that she does. This includes skill attacks as well as basic attacks. What this means is whenever the boss respawns, like if you kill one phase, he respawns, right? The Wind Fox will be able to instantly remove immunity with her basic attack or any of her skills, and the Fire Fox will be able to instantly stack up anti-crits, which means that you no longer need a stripper in your team, which means that you actually don't need a Tiana in your main team, and you can opt out for something like a Celestia, Eleanor, or any other cooldown booster, right? Which makes your main team much safer because you actually have a healer now, unless you were a Kina before, right? This mostly applies for all classes except Kina. If you're a Kina, you can use something like Eleanor and it will do the same, right? But yeah, this is the super powerful combo that I found between these foxes, and I will showcase you the run. The run actually got me my best score so far. It was around 34.5 million. And what I want you to pay attention to is whenever the boss respawns, right? I want you to check how fast the immunity gets removed and how much anti-crits you are able to stack. Already you can see that there's a level 10 anti-crit on the boss, but it may not be visible in all of them, but look how fast the immunity gets removed. Look at that. Sometimes the boss does not have immunity, so keep in mind that, like it may not be applied all the time. But yeah, no immunity right now. It already has level 5 critical buff, but level 8 anti, what's it called, like critical resistance down, right? Again, where's the buff? The immunity is there and the immunity is no longer there. There we go. That was a pretty slow strip for my standards actually. It took a few seconds, right? Like sometimes you may use some time to use the skill, stuff like that. But yeah, let me see if we can get it again. There's immunity and immunity is gone, right? Like it's just that fast. However, I will say this, when it comes to building these foxes, right? The fire one you wanna build as a high attack speed, weak point attacker, which means you want to have as low critical rate as possible and as high attack speed and accuracy as possible, right? For the wind one, you don't need to look into reducing the critical rate as much because she does not need what's it called, unlike the fire one, it can crit, right? So it doesn't matter whether you build crit or not. but when it comes to attack speed and precision, you also want to max those as well. So as long as you have high attack speed, high precision, and high accuracy on both of the foxes, it should be just fine. For the fire one, try to keep it as low crit rate as possible. Wind one doesn't really matter. Sometimes just substats will just not work out too well. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna leave the rest of the run running, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the Wind Fox, it definitely improved my runs a lot. Now I don't do these world bosses actively too much, I usually just auto. But yeah, if you're someone who manuals it and you want to reach for those high scores, I would highly encourage you trying out the Wind Fox and seeing whether it helps you with those consistent immunity strips, right? Because look at that, immunity was there, no longer there, right? Once immunity is not there, it starts stacking the anti-crit. It's already at level 8 after like what, 3 or 4 seconds of attacking, and yeah. I was very surprised. That it works so well, right? Like, look at that, immunity gone in like a second, less than a second. So yeah, 10 seconds left for the run, hitting the 30 million mark. I think this run got me like rank 4 whenever I recorded, right? It was quite a long time ago, but yeah, the score, pretty good, pretty much everyone survived, and yeah, very nice one. I think I showed up, yeah, look at this. Look at the amount of harmful effects. Shihwa, every time she applies anti-crit is pretty much shown there, and she applied almost 100 of those. Arang, every time a strip happens, I think it's included in the successful harmful effect, so that also shows up. And yeah, that's just about it. A short one about World Boss, and yeah, peace.